superstars. It's Danny with a Words Are Matter Language of Healing episode edition for you. So I have hinted during my last couple language of healing videos at speaking to us about the deleterious downsides of pathologies, as I have a language of healing webinar coming up on June 13th. I figure now is the perfect time to share my take on pathologies. I'm writing about pathologies in the book that I'm currently finishing, called The Language of Betterarchy, and figured to read you an excerpt from said book about pathologies. Here goes. Pathologizing, that's the name of the section. Slapping labels onto symptoms, tendencies, traumas, traits, phases, weather, and whim is a hierarchical hustle that allows people and things to be easily categorized into reductive little boxes that come along with prefab fixes in the guise of medical procedures and pharmaceutical prescriptions, topped off with excuses, pity, perpetuation, degeneration, and disempowerment. Pathologies are umbrella assessments that healthcare professionals ascribe to patterns of symptoms. Pathologies can be useful in terms of determining treatments and healing protocols, but when held too tightly, they become prisons that impede the healing process because pathologies are heavily coded, loaded with very specific stories, linear, progressive, regressive, worst case scenario roadmaps vibrating with fear, doom, and gloom. The coding embedded in pathologies is standardized and singular. A medical authority assesses our symptoms and then tells us we have this thing called blank. Insert terrifying pathology here. Because we have now been christened with this thing, we are to expect these other things to happen to us as time ticks on. And this thing progresses. Insert a laundry list of ever more painful, debilitating symptoms and impairments that pathologies program us to expect and thus manifest here. Pathologies essentially function as curses, as they program the subconscious mind to organize symptoms into a very specific predetermined progression. Pathologies are like prefab symptom corrals, wherein passing experiences that were essentially temporary and etheric in nature are solidified through language and then herded onto a very specific pathway of expression that may not have organically manifested as such had the body-mind not been programmed to follow this predetermined pathway of illness or dis-ease. All right, so there's more about pathologies, and this gives you a basic overview as to my own personal perspective on them. Please join me at my Language of Healing webinar on June 13th to learn more about the deleterious downsides of pathologies and to learn how to language dis-ease, distortion, illness, injury in such a way that we are not programming our body for more pain, for drawn out discomfort, for degenerative pathways, and to instead program the body for accelerated healing, optimal health, and well-being. You can learn more about it at my website, quantumlanguaging.com. Until then, thanks for paying attention. Thanks for remembering that every word matters, that you are omniscopic amazingness. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.